Opponent waiting out their timer, Ty catches the weather ball onto Comfey, and this Comfey is absolutely loaded. Ty gonna return fire with the grass knot. The question is, does the opponent know the moveset? Clearly they don't. Politoed gets one shot. Opponent now sends out Umbreon, and trust me trainer, Umbreon isn't going to enjoy this either. Welcome back to the channel. Much like the trainer in the intro, not only did I not know this Pokemon's moveset, I'll be honest, I didn't even know what this Pokemon was called. My good friend Ty, channel regular and king of entertainment and spice, Ty sent me a battle on Messenger, and I didn't even know what I was looking at. I was like, what the heck is this thing? Apparently it's called Comfey. It's ranked 179th in this single type cup. However, don't let that fool you, because it does have some great play against the meta, being a fairy type in a meta littered with counter users. Without any further ado, let's just jump straight into the battles. And in game 1, we pick up a great lead, leading Comfey into Haxorus. The opponent safe switches into Sudowoodo, and my god trainer, that is not the switch you're looking for, Ty. Go straight for the grass knot. Grass knot near one shots. Sudowoodo does make a move on 1 HP and a dream. This is the easiest shield of Ty's GBL career. We shield up the Meteor Beam commit to the Vine Whip farm down. The opponent can't return with Haxorus. They're forced to show their third, and it is a Charm Shadow Gramble, and my god, we're getting eaten alive. Ty forces the first shield with the grass knot. We pivot out into Banette. Banette just about makes a Shadow Ball. Holy crap, these battles are going to be quick today. Shadow Ball forces a shield. We come back into Comfey. The opponent gives up switch, and just like that, we've found a wink on. We land the grass knot. Grass knot puts this into counter farm down range. Gramble does have a move, but Machamp has the higher attack. We can shield this up. Commit to the counter farm down. Gramble is super low. It is CMP. This is resisted, but cross chop's going to be all she wrote. Machamp is a Shadow Gramble counter confirmed. Moving on to the next one. Comfey into Shadow Snorlax. I've got no idea if Comfey's bulky, but we're about to find out. Ty gonna tank the body slam, and ouch, that hurt. We then return fire with the grass knot. Grass knot lands for decent damage. We see the aggressive switch into Shadow Machamp, and the opponent absolutely core broken. Holy crap. Shadow Machamp ranked 1 on pvpoke. I'd highly recommend packing a Shadow Machamp counter. The opponent clearly thought it was a myth, but it absolutely isn't. Machamp makes the second cross chop. Reggie double shields, and this is going to be the second easiest shield of Ty's GBL career. We shield up the Zap Cannon, commit to the counter farm down. The opponent can't return with Snorlax. They choose to come into Hypno. Gonna have to tank a Rock Slide. Rock Slide lands for decent neutral damage. We see the aggressive pivot into Banette. Snorlax does make a move. This is going to be a double resisted body slam, but Ty shields it up. Can we get the resisted farm down? Yes, we can. We leave with the Shadow Ball, and Banette going to be cleaning up. GG's, and thanks for playing. Clearly, the opponent panic switched into Registeel, as I think if they brought out Hypno, they'd probably be in a pretty good spot. Moving on to the next battle, great lead, Comfey into Hitmonchan. We do resist the counters. The Vine Whips are neutral. The opponent fires off the Fire Punch, and that does a lot of damage. Ty going to be firing off the Grass Knot. Grass Knot forces a shield, and again we see the pivot. This time we save switch into Banette, and Banette is getting hard punished by Berserker. However, we do make the Shadow Ball. The opponent absolutely going to be shielding. Let's not kid ourselves. You see Shadow Banette, I highly recommend shielding absolutely everything, as that thing hits like a fucking truck. Don't mind my language. I'm British. I like to swear. Apologies for anyone easily offended. We come into Machamp. We shield up the foul play, committed to the counter farm down, and the opponent's got Milotic in the back. We land the cross chop. Milotic going to be making a charge move. Ty going to be investing his final protection. We shield up the Surf. We then look to go for the Vine Whip farm down. Back out comes Hitmonchan. The opponent fires off that energy. It's just a power up punch. They do manage to counter, farm us down, but Ty banked the cross chop. Cross chop will be deleting Hitmonchan, and I think 2 counters is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see the big fatty Snorlax once again in the lead. However, this one is a regular, and Ty actually has got rid of Banette, and we've now got Umbreon, which will provide this team with some very much needed bulk. However, Umbreon's bulk being put to the test as the opponent brings out a Charm Clefable. Ty fires off the last resort, and Umbreon, not known for his attack stat, doesn't do all that much damage. Ty not going to make the next last resort. So he settles for a foul play, getting some chip damage. We come back into Comfey, fire off one Vine Whip and the Grass Knot for the correct fast move timing, and the opponent shields. Yikes. Let's hope this opponent doesn't two-shield their Charmer. Ty going to be making one more Grass Knot. We really need the opponent to let this go, as Machamp really doesn't fancy taking any charm damage. We do knock out with the Grass Knot. We spam out into Machamp, and it's Ninetales in the back. Ty over farms, allowing the opponent to throw first. We're going to shield up the Weather Ball. Ty then throws one counter and the cross chop, again the correct fast move timing. So 2-turn versus 3-turn, you want to throw out 1, 4 or 7. The opponent lets it go. We counter farm down. Mr. Opponent, why didn't you shield? I don't know, but we're going to take that. They choose to shield up Snorlax, but that definitely wasn't the play, as Ty outpaces to the next cross chop, and Snorlax might be thick but not thick enough, and that's a good game. Moving on to the next one. Comfey into Umbreon, you absolutely love to see it. Despite the opponent probably not knowing the moveset, or perhaps they're just more knowledgeable than a noob like myself, they pivoted out into Cofagrigus, and Cofagrigus is met with its worst nightmare. Not only does Umbreon have 6,852,000 HP, it resists absolutely everything. However, in the trade-off, this foul play is super effective, but the opponent easily tanks that. Ty can commit to the Snarl farm down, and Cofagrigus actually makes this matchup a lot closer than I expected. The opponent gets us into the red, but we leave absolutely loaded. It looks like Ty's looking to bank this energy, pivot out, calling the Umbreon is returning. We fire off the Draining Kiss. Draining Kiss lands for some pretty average damage, if I'm being brutally honest, and the opponent's got Ninetales in the back. Again, we're going to fire off the Draining Kiss. This is resisted, but the opponent again clearly doesn't know the moveset. They didn't need to shield that up. Ty going to fire off the Grass Knot. This also resisted, but does quite a lot of damage to Shadow Ninetales. We come back into Umbreon. With all that banked energy, we fire off the Foul Play. Foul Play draws the final Protect Shield. We then look to fire off back-to-back, but we lose CMP. Ty just going to allow Umbreon to go down. He's saving 2 shields for Shadow Machamp. We can easily shield this up, commit to the counter farm down. Then when Umbreon does return, it's going to be in a huge heap of pain. The opponent clearly doesn't want that work, as they concede the match. Moving on to the next one. We see the kitty with the sharpest claws, Berserker. Not a great matchup for our Comfey, as we can only hit him for resisted, but we might draw a shield if the opponent doesn't know the moveset. The opponent tanked that Grass Knot, but that still did pretty good resisted damage. The opponent then fires off the Foul Play, and we tank that really well. If this is just a Foul Play, we will survive. Ty causes another Foul Play. We do survive. We make the Grass Knot, but the opponent catches it on a Poison Jab user. The opponent sends out Muck. Shadow Muck, a really good pick in this meta. I actually did play my first single type cup battles today, and I was using Muck and my level 51 Grimer on the same team. Post down below if you can guess my lead. If you've seen my short, you'll already know. However, getting back into this, we tank the Thunder Punch, look to snipe with Machamp. We don't get the snipe. We're forced to shield up a Thunder Punch. Ty now down a shield. The opponent's got a Lola Mola in the back. This looks really tricky. However, Machamp hits like a truck. A Lola Mola commits a shield on the cross chop. Ty already at cross chop. Number 2, we really need this to land. The opponent lets it go, and I think that's a bit of a misplay, as Machamp's clearly going to get harder than anything this Umbreon can throw. The opponent's got a boatload of energy. Ty respects the potential Hydro Pump, and the opponent full sends it. They then send out Berserker, and this kitty's going to be met with the Foul Play. Foul Play goes unshielded, and that's just game over. The opponent is saving their shield for the bulky fish, but it's not going to matter. This Foul Play will be drawing the final Protect Shield. Ty makes the last resort, and that's going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Comfey into a shiny Umbreon. A pretty good lead. The opponent pivots out into another Shadow Muck. This one is a really cool shiny. I'm pretty jealous of that, if I'm being honest. However, what I'm not jealous of is the matchup it's found itself in. As Umbreon just outbulks this, we can easily tank the second Thunder Punch. We survive in the yellow. Ty fired on the CMP. Ty Umbreon obviously lost. I think Umbreon loses pretty much all CMPs. We're already at the next Foul Play. Is Muck going to make a play for Switch? Yes, they are. They shield it up. Ty going to be able to fire off one more Foul Play. He can easily shield this up and try and force both shields. Ty just allows Umbreon 2 go down, we come into Machamp, commit to the aggressive, resisted counter farm down. We've got 2 shields, the opponent only has 1, they can't return with Umbreon. So they send out their third, which is a Survivor. The opponent attempts to catch a Rock Slide on Umbreon. Ty holds his energy, showing great discipline, and then shows the opponent how to catch. Catching the foul play onto Comfey. Ty still hanging on to 2 shields. The opponent sends the Psychic, and that doesn't do all that much damage. Ty then gets a load of frame drops. Niantic, please fix this stupid game. We fire off the Draining Kiss. That doesn't secure the knockout, so Ty fires off the Grass Knot. Grass Knot goes unshielded, but this is just game over. Ty's got the double Rock Slide. We win CMP, and we've got 2 shields. Even if the opponent shields this up, they can fire off the Poison Fang, but they're going to be very sad, as the second Rock Slide will definitely one-shot, as this little Poison Snake isn't the bulkiest, and that is going to be another very nice game. Moving on to the next one. Great lead, Comfey into Politoed. The opponent sees we're on Vine Whip, however they continue to stay in. Ty continues to overfarm. The opponent gonna fire off a Weather Ball. Ty respects it with a shield. The opponent then attempts to make a catch on their Ninetales. Ty again shows great discipline, holding his energy, and then answers with Umbreon. Umbreon going to be spamming out foul plays. Foul play lands for decent neutral damage. The opponent builds up to a potential overheat, and the opponent full sends, but Umbreon so thick. Overheat does lower the opponent's attack, which means Umbreon again going to survive. We get a notification for low battery, but Umbreon doesn't care. We make the foul play, forcing a shield. We now come into Machamp, look for the counter farm down. Unfortunately, we don't get it. But this is a debuff Weather Ball, but that still does a lot of damage to the squishy Machamp. The opponent waiting out their time, and they send back out Politoed. Ty catches the Weather Ball onto Comfey. We've seen it doesn't do too much damage. The opponent continues to stay, and we fire off the Grass Knot. The opponent lets it go. They get one shot, and it's Umbreon in the back. Politoed clearly didn't have a good matchup, and Umbreon doesn't have a good matchup either. Draining Kiss lands for decent super effective damage. The opponent needs to throw the last resort to take us out. The opponent baits with a foul play. Comfey survives. Gonna make one more Draining Kiss. This should force the final shield off the opponent. The opponent didn't shield, so we come into Machamp. Ty fires off the cross chop. I think we should just go for the counter farm down. However, either way, it doesn't really matter. We're going to match shields, shielding up a foul play, and Machamp should be able to counter farm down for the dub. Moving on to the next one. We see Delcatty in the lead, a normal type, running Charm. Ironically, we're the fairy, running Vine Whip. Interesting. We fire off the Grass Knot, and Delcatty's actually looking pretty bulky. Charm though, super slow, a generating energy. Ty gonna be shielding up the Wild Charge. Holy smokes. A very good shield there, as Wild Charge definitely would have been returning us to our Pokeball. The opponent then safe switches into a shiny Mew. The opponent fires off the Flame Charge. I'm not really sure why you do that, to be honest, as we do resist Shadow Claw, so boosting your quick move isn't going to do too much. The opponent then fires off the Wild Charge, and Umbreon just doesn't care. Showing its bulk, we fire off the foul play. Foul play easily one shot. The opponent sends back out Delcatty, and as they're a normal type, this foul play does hit for neutral. The opponent commits a shield. Delcatty super low, so we come into Machamp, look for the counter farm down. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down, pivot out into Luxray, and Luxray is getting absolutely deleted by counter. Ty then makes a savage catch, catching the next Psychic Fangs onto Comfey. The opponent goes for the undercharge. Ty manages to Vine Whip farm down. We've got 2 charge moves, one on the Comfey and one on the Machamp. The opponent shields the first, and Ty fires off the BM Rock Slide for the dub. Yet again, a beautiful showcase from Ty. Holy smokes, that was incredibly fun. One of my favourite lines is stay in school, kids, and learn to count. And apparently today I've been to school, so I didn't know what Comfey had as its moveset, and today I learned something new. I think a lesson we can all learn is Sims and rankings doesn't necessarily translate into performance. Comfey ranked super low. However, due to its typing and moveset, it's actually got quite good play against things we're likely to see. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, Consider subscribing if, like Ty, you'd like your battles featured on the channel. Link to my battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.